Oh, what's up guys, good morning. You guys are joining me for another video related to these Sacconejoly. Now I don't know what to say about them. I've been watching their videos lately, and the one thing that I've kind of noticed about the children is that they do look really tired. Like they look really tired, really tired in fact. You know, there's something about, I don't know what it is, there's just something about the Sacconejoly that makes me think that, there's more going on behind the scenes than what people think there is. I think the problem these days, is that, people are too quick to dismiss that. You raise a point that you think that something is going on behind the scenes, or there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and people are always so quick to sort of dismiss that. In in all honesty, I don't know what else to say. It does concern me. What we see in the videos. I think, yeah, things might seem more innocent in the videos. They might seem more innocent and that, but behind the scenes of camera, things might not be as innocent as people think they are. Like, I'm certainly not trying to imply that I think that he's being sexually abused or something like that. Behind the scenes, I'm not suggesting that, anything like that is going on, nor am I trying to imply that. Obviously I would never try to imply that, something like sexual abuse is going on without any actual proof of that. But there's something there's certainly something not right, So there's something that doesn't sit right with me, and I don't quite know what it is. Like this whole trans child thing, it feels like they were looking, Jonathan and Anna were just looking for something that, they would get them a lot of popularity and would get them a lot of money and views, and having a trans child has certainly gotten them that. It's fair to say. Obviously I feel bad. I do feel bad that he's, the way they're being, they're basically being exploited, by their parents, and the way I see it, exploitation is a form of child abuse, in so many words. I think the good thing, these days, I think the good thing is people are starting to, gradually more and more people are starting to wake up. More and more people are starting to realise that things are not quite right with this family, and, and that maybe social services, involvement is entirely necessary with that family in general. I think that's pretty fair to say. I would be saying, the social services need to get involved unless I thought it was entirely necessary, and I think with the Sacconejoly's, they are a family that should be being investigated by social services, in all honesty. I mean, obviously, as I've said, I don't have an issue with Anna. I've always had an issue with Jonathan. I've always thought the guy was a bit of a creep. I mean, I have, in fairness, I have tried to give, Jonathan and Anna the benefit of the doubt, quite a few times, but I don't feel like I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt anymore, because, I've done that too many times. In my honest opinion, something needs to be done. Someone has to do something. Someone has to help those kids in whatever way possible. I mean, obviously, I feel like this Sacconejoly is the sort of family that that make a lot of stuff up just for money and views. I think this whole trans child thing was fake. I think Edie's her blindness was fake. I don't think she was ever really, if she's ever really been colorblind. I think that was something that they made up for views. You know, it's just crazy. You know, like, I don't know what else to say really regarding Sacconejoly apart from, you know, social services need to start doing more about this and they need to be doing their jobs. You know, they need to be looking into what's going on here. You know, I think they need to be taking a much closer look at what's going on behind the scenes, because I honestly do believe, and I know a lot of people laugh at this, but I honestly do believe that there's a lot more that goes on off camera behind the scenes that we don't really get to see. And I've always had that same sort of opinion with the Inhams as well. Like, I've always suspected that there's a lot that they don't show on camera, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't get to see with them as well. I don't think that Vince was in. I don't think Vince are all that innocent behind the scenes with them either. There's probably a lot of dodgy stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't get to see with them. And I think it's the same case with the Sacconejoly. I think there's probably a lot of dodgy stuff going on off camera that we don't really get to see. And I know people would laugh at that suggestion, or would think that I was being, I guess, I would think I was being a bit stupid, but I don't think I'm being that stupid in that respect. And I honestly think that, the more people that report the Sacconejoly family to social services, the more likely something will be done. I mean, I've reported them to social services many times, mainly because I've been genuinely concerned. Like, I wouldn't have reported them to social services if I didn't think that social services involvement was entirely necessary at this point. As I do think that, that the Sacconejoly families need to be given a telling off from, a lot of parents need to be given a telling off from social services. But I think they deserve more than a telling off from social services, to be fairly honest. The way I see it with this, with Jonathan and Anna, is there's just no real, like, there's just no real sense of safeguarding with them. Like, they don't, it's like they don't think that safeguarding their kids is all that important in the grand scheme of things. It's like they don't care about, it feels like they don't care about safeguarding their kids. It just feels like a lot of the time they are opening their kids up to, bullying and hateful comments online. I've seen a lot of bullying and hateful, quite nasty comments about the kids on the videos. And that is what Jonathan and Anna are opening the kids up to, is they're opening the kids up to bullying, they're opening the kids up to hateful comments. And it's sad to see that, when I look at some of the comments I've seen from, on some of Jonathan's TikTok videos. Obviously I've done a lot of videos about that in the past, where I've spoken about the TikTok comments, or, the somewhat kind of disgusting and filthy comments that are being posted on Jonathan's channel. The one comment I tend to see a lot on the TikTok videos is in regards to Edie, and it's, people are always asking, did it hurt when you had it cut off? And you know what they're talking about when they ask that, when they're asking that question? They're basically asking, Edie if it hurt when she had her private parts cut off, basically. And that the fact that people are asking that about a child, it's disgusting. But again, those are the sorts of comments that Jonathan is opening the Edie up to online a lot of the time. I think Jonathan really needs to kind of take a step back and look at what he's doing, look at, what sort of audiences he's attracting as well. Again, it's his open mouth thumbnails as well, like every single video, full video that Jonathan uploads has an open mouth thumbnail. And why does he use those thumbnails? Because, it's thumbnails like that are known to attract paedophiles and child predators to video, and that's what he's trying to do. Like most of the majority of the time, he's trying to attract paedophiles and child predators to to videos of his children. And it amazes me that people can't see how wrong that is. To me, it's quite disturbing, seeing what Jonathan does. A lot of things that Jonathan does, I do find quite disturbing. I just don't like the vibe I get, really. The vibe I get is one that, that worries me quite a bit. It honestly does, to tell you the truth, it honestly does scare me quite a bit to think about what could be going on behind the scenes, what could be going on off camera. Because, obviously, yeah, I mean, as I said, this might look like on camera, they might seem like a normal, decent, respectable family. They might seem like, they might actually seem like, a decent family, they might seem like a genuine family, but I don't think there's really anything genuine about them at all. I feel like a lot of what you see on camera is just for show. It's just for the camera sake. It's all put on. It's all being staged. And I think the trans thing, the trans child thing is included in that. I think the trans child thing is just for show, and it's just being staged. I've only ever believed that the trans child thing was just a stunt that they pulled to try and get more money and views. Because I think the trans child videos do get a lot more views than any other video that Jonathan posts. And they get more money, they get more engagement on those videos. Just wait for the plane to go over. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, obviously, again with the trans child videos, people should know by now that Jonathan loves causing controversy. Sacconejoly is the sort of person who absolutely thrives off of controversy. He'll do whatever he has to do towards controversy, and if his hits are involved in that, then so be it. He knows how controversial these trans child videos are, because they're always quite controversial, to be honest. The way I see it, people are never gonna agree over this whole trans child thing. Some people are, there are those, probably there are those idiots, those naive idiots out there who believe that Edie is actually genuinely trans. And then there's people like myself who aren't so sure that the whole trans child thing is actually real. And I'm more on the side that, or more of the opinion that this trans child thing is fake. But I think it's become very clear to a lot of people, including myself, that this trans child thing is fake. There's nothing genuine about it at all. This is what I'm saying, there's nothing genuine about this family. Nothing about this family feels real. Nothing about this family feels genuine. Everything about the Sacconejoly family feels fake. Everything about the fact that the Sacconejoly family feels staged and feels like it's being put on and feels like it's just for show. It doesn't feel like anything is written, like anything about them is real. I don't believe that Edie's trans. I don't believe that Edie is actually colourblind. And I feel like all of these things were just Jonathan's way of trying to get a few extra views. To try and get more money. They're always trying to to try and find ways of staying relatable. And they think that, having a trans child, he will keep them relatable, it will keep, keep gaining the views. I mean, I've often said before that I don't really have, if she's trans, then I don't have a problem with that. I've always had more of an issue with the way that Jonathan and Anna have both exploited the fact that Edie's trans and the way they've used that for content. It is wrong the way that both, it's so disgusting and vile the way that Jonathan and Anna have both exploited that. You know, this is what, you know, this is a situation where neither of them are innocent, because, you know, it's both of them have exploited, you know, Edie being trans really badly. You know, they've both profited off of that in a really disgusting and vile way. You know, I've always said that they should never have shared Edie's journey online. They should have waited until Edie was ready for that to be shared online. You know, they should have waited until Edie felt that the time was right for her journey to be shared online. But it felt like all Jonathan and Anna were ever interested in was money and views. And this is another one of my issues with them, is it feels like there's not a single thing that will stay private. It just feels like every single thing is shared online and used for content. And I do think that, you know, I honestly do think that Jonathan and Anna have shared a lot of things online that they shouldn't be sharing online. And I don't think that, you know, I don't think I'm really lying about that, but it just has to be said, they have shared a lot of things online they shouldn't have shared. Like, for example, you know, when it hits at school, they're always showing the school logo in the videos. Now, how many times have they been warned not to show the school logo in their videos? They've been warned about that a ridiculous amount of times, and they still continue to show the school logo in the videos, despite the fact that people have warned them so many times not to do that, because of the risks that poses to the safety of their kids. I mean, this was a guy that was filming inside his school. I mean, obviously, apparently he had permission to be filming in the school, but, you know, if he'd been filming in the school without the intention of, you know, sharing that online, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But the problem is, he was filming inside the school with the full intention of sharing that online. And that by far is not the smart, you know, that by far is the dumbest thing that Jonathan could do. Is film inside his child's school and then share that online. No parent would ever think it was a sensible idea to do that. You know, I really do think that social services need to have a little chat with them, and, you know, make them realise and make them understand the importance of safeguarding their children, and why safeguarding their children is so important. You know, I honestly don't get how people can defend someone like Jonathan. I mean, do people not think it's weird? It's slightly weird how every time Jonathan uploads a video, you know, the video has an open mouth thumbnail. And if people, you know, if people like myself know why Jonathan uses these videos, and that's not a bad thing. At least, you know, people like myself know, you know, why Jonathan uses these thumbnails and what he's trying to do. And that's why that's why I'm always, you know, calling him out over the thumbnails he uses, because I know why he's doing that, or I know what he's trying to do with that. You know, and it's scary, the fact that this guy is always, you know, basically what this guy is doing is he's basically pedo-baiting his children. You know, he's sexualizing his children a lot of the time, he's pedo-baiting them, you know. I mean, this is the thing with Jonathan, he loves a good opportunity to pedo-bait his in whatever way he can. You know, I mean, some of the videos he's done in the past have been downright disgusting. You know, I mean, it feels like a lot of his videos are controversial for a lot of reasons. You know, I would say that his videos are far more controversial than Anatole. I mean, at least Anna's videos are not as controversial as Jonathan's are. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, I do think that social services need to be having a friendly little chat with them. You know, it's about time they did anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. That's just my rundown and my thoughts on things. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for another video very soon. Bye bye, guys. Have a good day.